All right, last video is going to be fun. Simple. 4 videos, 20 deep. And these are not just round stones you're looking at. These I saved for last are what I consider extremely personal. Now, the points that I've shared, these were not personal to them. They put personal attention in it because they live clear with all the things that they made and did, clear-spirited. But they, to them, were expendable, making lots. They held on to something like this and used it in a more intimate fashion, meaning scrapers. These pieces of stone were bloody. They had the fats of animals and blood, sinew, and prepared the hides, which was highly valuable to them for clothing and for bags and for shelter. So we're going to check these scrapers out because they are top scrapers. Awesome stuff. But yeah, you might have caught a glimpse of a very small desk piece in the shaft that I mentioned from Hopewell MJ. And as you can see, it's very small. Look at my nail. And I wanted him to make me something that was about 12 to 15 inches and just something that was good for the size of a desk. And I sent him a very small Guilford tip. It is translucent. Look at this. An Indian trace. And he did a great job, as you can see here. Just a very small replica, if you will. He put 4, very great job on the 4, and made it to be right for an atlatl if you can get the focus, if I can get the focus to work on the tip. I can't do it, hang on. On the tip. Just fun stuff. Look at that flint or the flat out stuff. Bear with me. Drives me crazy too. Some of you guys are like that. Alright, anyway, that's good enough. He did a fantastic job on this little piece. And I wanted it just to speak of the North American Indian, of course. And be easy enough to have around and remind you of their life and how they did things, and then just able to just easily set it aside. So it's a really great little piece. Barely fits in the camera here. But it is small. You can see my hand right here. Appreciate that from him. He did a great job on it. Really good work with that little teeny Guilford I found. Great stuff. Look at these scrapers. Personal stuff. And I did have more. I had one person tell me this was a preform, but I've looked at it again and seen that the edges are worked. And not worked as in tapered off. We call that work. But I mean, this piece, you can tell, was held. Sometimes you can just tell. And there are edges that are much more worked than others. Sharp edges, very sharp, easy. This would have done some work. I mean, if you've ever cleaned or skinned a deer or any animal, doesn't matter to me whether it's a rabbit or a raccoon or you just gutted anything. I don't care if it's a frog, anything that you're needing to work with hard, sharp edges and scraping and stones, this would have been a great multi-purpose tool. It's an absolute perfect size, found at Mecca. Now, there are flint cores like this out west that are probably preforms that they traveled with or what have you, but they would have made them bigger just because they're going to have to reduce quartz. This is super hard and held its composure through cycles and cycles of farming, so I do think that this was made that way. Hey, we speculate, right? I don't know everything as I should. I just know that I think that's an awesome scraper. That's what I think. It's good stuff. Here's another great scraper. Piece of rock that I know was reduced. Great colors. and all the edges are reduced. It's a little rough, but if you hold one of these, you'll know. Yeah, I really believe somebody was using that, because you ask yourself, would you use it? Can you imagine conditioning a hide, scraping the fat off the inside of the hide and just scraping it down before you get ready to smear and let it soak in the brains of that animal? I'm telling you the truth. It's exactly how they had to do things. Even do it today to make a good hide. That's a great scraper. Here's another piece. Remember, much more personal items here on the last video. Found this at Notchville 1, where I don't find a lot of this big flint. I don't even find points made out of this big flint, but I do find occasional scrapers made out of this flint. Isn't that interesting? They could have reduced this down, made a point. They thought it important enough, but they really use it for scrapers. Look at the work that they did on the edges. I mean work as in use the piece to just work with, because they needed to do that daily with the kills. If they were doing good, they'd go through times of lack and famine and times of plenty, but to survive the elements, they needed skins of every type, and they needed to be ready to condition them. That's a great scraper. It is a greenish type of material. So it's really a fascinating thing to me, their lives and the industry that they live. Look at this big white scraper. Found actually on a little field going through the woods, getting ready to go to Stone Cab. And I know it's associated with Indians that camped on the top of Stone Cab, but haven't found too much in that field. You know how that is when you're just traveling through somewhere, trying to get somewhere. But sure as you live, this scraper, it's just milky. It's just perfect material, quartz and strong. I know it has been tumbled. What a great piece. Scrapers, when you hold them, you're going to get a whole different world than when you hold and grab a hold of points like this. Oh, sure, we love them. They capture our imagination. No doubt. But some of you out there know, and you shouted out to me, I found one of these like this any day above a point. I think Brooksy was telling me that. And look, here's a prize scraper found at the Pinnacle. Again, look at the flint material. Never found a point in this material. The work. It's a working stone. Sharper edges. And much more ground working edges. What a stone, right? Those carry a deeper spirit. A deeper spirit for sure. Appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. And again, a shout out to Hopewell MJ. Hopewell MJ is a great channel. If you guys want to bring an artifact back to like a little point like that, you want something. We made a good trade for it, and true to form, he's just a great craftsman. Anyway, love those scrapers. Hope you find out there.